Not going to say that. You said it anyway. I know, Hitchan, it's fine if you overhear. I wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair, since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand the things Shizune is saying, and vice versa. Is that also why she signs all the time? So there is never a conversation Shizune will be left out of? ... Anyway, we should start on the problems now, Hitchan. They would make a cute couple, don't you think? I think so. We finish with the time to spare, and I decide to ask if there are any alternatives to the cafeteria, as frankly, the food so far has been subpar. This sheds Shizune and Misha arguing among themselves about their favorite restaurants. All of them are downtown, so I don't think we have time to go all the way there. And what about the bill? Are they arguing just for the fun of it? Maybe. They seem so distracted by it that they don't even notice the start of the actual lunch break. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busying themselves with the lunch break. Socializing, gossiping, rearranging desks, the ones with actual box lunches mixed in and chattering like everyone else. Only interrupted by short bouts of eating. But when I watch Hanako, it feels that I'm the only one who can see her, almost as if she was invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of the class on her own accord? I see her look over her shoulder towards the classroom's rear door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I've started watching her. I guess she's waiting for someone. What to do? Fuck her, fuck them. I do what I always do when I don't know what to do. Like now. I've already started one of the books I borrowed yesterday, and took it with me to school to fill the empty moments between classes. I find the page that I created a corner of to mark the spot I left yesterday night, and pick up from there. Fucker is damaging school property. You know what would happen if people just continue to bend the corners of the pages? Misha and Shizune are still arguing heatedly, probably about restaurants still. How do they know they're arguing? They're just like waving their hands frantically back and forth, just angrily signing at each other, just like flipping each other off between bouts of, just doing shit with their hands. If I join them, I just get caught up in that, or worse, get grilled about joining the student council. Ugh. Misha isn't speaking aloud, since there is nobody who'd need to hear what they are talking about. But why does she tend to sign things, even when Shizune doesn't need to understand what's being said? Or even more strangely, when Shizune is not around at all. What an odd conflict of habits. I find it hard to focus on the book, and besides, lunch break beckons me to leave the dullness of the classroom. I do so, heading down for the cafeteria. Misha and Shizune, having come to a conclusion of one kind or another, follow in my wake, though still talking in their animated fashion. Just around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a runaway train. Thunk. Ouch. Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and who has now fallen down onto the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform and a very worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during a lunch break. I could care less. More striking than that, though, is that she doesn't have legs. She does, too! She doesn't have feet! Or shins. See? She is missing shins and feet, not legs. Because a lot of her legs are still there. Just her shins. Actually, we have a person in my house that actually is missing one of his legs, and he does wear a fake leg, and he gets around pretty well, and so that's always nice. Or she does, but they are not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone thighs end in shins and feet, made of some black metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural. It almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. The girl winces a little, rubs her nose, and jumps up. Aw, man, hey, are you alright? I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry. She looks really apologetic, in her puppy way of looking apologetic. Oh god. Please. Please, not that. Anything but that. Not the eyes. Cover those. I quickly forget about being angry or anything since hurt puppies are my weak spot with the... It's okay, don't worry about it. Ouch. I say that, but there's a stinging pain growing in my chest, and I know that this is about the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself, don't forget your medication, and most of all, don't get hit in the chest. Damn you, you have killed me. You have killed me! Your puppy dog eyes will not save my life. I try to rub my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. It seems normal. Hey, should I get the nurse? The worried, high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her for a few seconds, dumbfounded, until I realize that I probably looked worse off than I really was. Doubled over myself and looked all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. No need, I'm fine. Managing to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time, and take a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me big time, and it's nothing more than that. You sure you're okay? I hit you pretty hard. It's okay, I said I was fine. Nothing's broken. No harm done. That's good, I feel a hand on my shoulder at the same time. The girl's eyes, The girl's eyes widen in horror, and whatever she's saying gets interrupted by a very horrified... The music isn't giving me a lead up. Eep! A very horrified eep! Eep! I don't have time to look behind me because Shizune is already shoving me aside and stomping over to the girl, signing furiously at her. Miss Ibrazaki, I saw that. Running in the halls is strictly forbidden. Misha translates right on Shizune's tail, but her voice is girlishly playful, not full of the divine fury Shizune's arm movements would seem to call for. I have ordered unto thee that thou must not run in the hallways. Sorry, I was just going to get some stuff, and I was kind of in a hurry. You've been told this 1,000 times before. Your reckless behavior endangers other students, and even worse, it's explicitly against the school regulations. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute I find myself smiling. I know that I was just... ... Make sure that this will not happen again, although I'm sure telling you this is futile and only cause me further headache when you choose to ignore the regulations. Got that, Emmy? The small girl sticks her tongue out in response. I gotta go. The teacher will have my head. I promised to help with printouts, but I went running instead. Sorry, but I've got to change in everything. Before Monsieur Shizune can say anything, she's already bolted from where she was seconds ago, almost halfway towards the stairwell. Shizune looks like she's about to go nuclear on the spot, so I smile at her in a vain attempt to calm her down as my dogs bark furiously outside of the room. Once again, being complete and total assholes about it. ... Are you okay, Hichan? That Ibrazaki girl is always like that, causing trouble to others. You know, I'm pretty certain Shizune wouldn't call me Hichan. Never mind. Yeah, anyway, I'm okay. Just got the wind nicked out of me. Yes. That's great, Hichan. I wouldn't call that great, but I let it slide this one time. ... We have to run now. There's an important student council meeting regarding the festival, and we finally decided where to eat. ... Too bad you can't join, but this lunch meeting is only for council members. Fine, well, fuck you too. We can take you there some other time. Oh, but that'd be like a date, wouldn't it? Ha 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 ha. The girls leave for downstairs. I didn't manage to get far from the third floor hallway before all this commotion struck. Literally, I should get going as well. The lunch in the afternoon class passed uneventfully. I read most of the book I had started yesterday, and eat some of the most inedible offerings of the cafeteria. The class is tiresome. The teacher seems like an okay person, despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there is still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd, at the hospital I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here, filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Matao is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his paper briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there is nobody else around. Nothing. Thinking about what I do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he is holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? No, I consider joining a club, but don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. But I don't know how to continue from there. Matao looks at me in a way that makes me incredibly want to take the words back in to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people, the other students. I'm talking to people and said everything, so it's not like I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It feels like I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one, see? People keep saying the same thing. You can talk normally with someone, even if they are blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He says the same thing as Yuuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, when the only way to communicate with her is talking through Misha? Or Hanako. It's not like you can ignore her face, but... I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts toward the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Matao, visibly dismayed at the interruption and Misha's in general, slumps in his chair. Mikado. Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong but has no idea what. Yes? We have to talk about volume control before. Yes? But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So what is it? We need help. We are running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. She seems very distressed. On the verge of tears. She's like, well, we have a problem. She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So, go get some more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little. But that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's like none left there. So do you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? Shit-chan, I mean the president thought that a teacher would know if there is plywood. Was she wrong? Matao looks like he's in great pain, frowning his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible. Like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. It is pretty torturous. I'm afraid I have no idea if there is any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there is any. Aw, what should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomaya? I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time, we're so busy. She holds her head in both hands, looking as despairing as it's possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we are falling behind the schedule. Oh god. Matao looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. You son of a bitch. You smug son of a bitch. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. I can just imagine him tapping his hands like an evil genius, thinking I can get rid of this problem and the other problem with the same idea. He switches to staring at me focusedly with a hard expression as if trying to say, go make some friends. ... Yeah, I guess I could give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Hitchan. You were really nice. Was this planned? She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping, ah! And looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Hitchan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hitchan? No, I'm not. Is Hitchan in trouble, teacher? God damn it, I fucking told you! No, he's not. What a surprise. Matao sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need? Here's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere, if there's none in the art room. She offers me a note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the student council or not. It sounds like contracts. She's like, this does not imply that I am joining in any way, shape, or form. Aww. Still, thanks, Hitchan. Try to be quick. We're in stall building streak right now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. That son of a bitch. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Look at this list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written in small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's. I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classroom closet closest to ours are designated belonging to classes 3-1, 3-2 on the right side, and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms that I don't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some easels in the corner, so at least this looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody home? Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. And this is where we're going to end it. Oh, what a lovely cliffhanger I've chosen. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.